So let's talk about 4 different ways that you can think like Marcus Aurelius. And stick around to the end of the video because I've got a huge surprise for each and every single one of you. But it all starts with taking control of your thoughts. Here's a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." So the first step to thinking like Marcus Aurelius is to take time in your day to first of all remind yourself that your thoughts are completely within your control, that you can decide exactly what you want to think about. And then once you've done that, spend time, again taking time out of your day to sit down with a journal and not just remind yourself of that, but prove that to yourself. Go through the events that you're worried about and just dissect it, proving to yourself completely logically that you can't control the thing that you're getting stressed about, but you can control your perceptions about the event. So you've got to take time in the day to step back, pull out a journal, and just not only remind yourself that your thoughts are completely within your control, but prove it yourself by dissecting the things that you're worried about, but also the things that you're insecure about, also your things that you're hoping for in the future. Just take time in the day to dissect all of the things that you're worried about, scared about, insecure about, all of those sorts of things, to not only remind yourself that your thoughts are completely within your control so you can decide what you think about, and then your thoughts dictate your feelings, so basically you can decide what you feel about, but just take time in the day to remind yourself of that and then prove yourself that. Because proving yourself that these things are true, proving yourself by dissecting things within your own life, is how you take it from just some airy-fairy concept that you read about to actually taking the benefits. Because when you only think about the things that you can control, when you only recognize that thoughts are all that you can control, you get this feeling of peace because you're in complete control of your emotions, and that is amazing. So take the time in the day to sit back with a journal, remind yourself, and dissect different things that are going on in your life. And the second way to think like Marcus Aurelius is to do this thing called mind dumping. And it's clear to see as we read Marcus Aurelius' meditations that he did not write it to share his wisdom. He didn't write it to spread all of the things that he learned. On the contrary, he wrote it for himself and himself only. And we can tell that by the structure of the writing. It's kind of all over the place, where he would just write something at the end of the day just to remind himself and to tell himself to improve in the future. And science has actually proven this is a beneficial technique to do. Dr. James Pennebaker has actually proven through science that this is something that you should be doing every single day. You see, Pennebaker is a pioneer in writing therapy and a professor of psychology at the University of Texas. American Psychological Association has recognized his work on the benefits of journaling as some of the most important in the field. And in 1994, Pennebaker and his team split people who had been out of a job for 8 months into 3 different groups. And the first group was asked to write about their layoff and how they felt about it. The second group was invited to write about nothing in particular, and the final group was given no writing instructions. They were just told to, get along with their day just like normal. But what was the result? Well, it was actually kind of incredible. You see, the participants that recorded their layoff experiences were notably, obviously, clearly more likely to find new jobs in the aftermath of the study. Because by writing, they were able to formally declutter the stress and the noise and all of that stuff that's going on in the mind that isn't actually important, and they were able to become more aligned with what they were feeling. And it gave them the push they needed to grasp where they were and where they needed to go. You see, by journaling, Marcus Aurelius was able to declutter his mind, because there was some fact, and I'm not sure exactly on the number, but they say that roughly 90% of the thoughts that you have today are the exact same thoughts that you had tomorrow. And if all of these thoughts are the same ones, why are you not documenting them in a journal? Tim Ferriss talks about this as well. He talks about clearing the monkey mind, but he talks about this benefit for a different reason. He journals for a different reason. He says that, and excuse the plane going up in the moment, it's a lovely day at the moment, so I just had to film outside, so excuse the plane. But Tim Ferriss says that when you use this, when you mind dump on a piece of paper, just get all of those thoughts that are on your mind, you're kind of clearing the spiritual windscreen wipers so that you can see clearly and you can see on the things that are most important. So both Tim Ferriss and Marcus Aurelius, 2 people that I really aspire to be like, they both use journaling to clear their monkey mind and just to mind dump. So I suggest you do that too, and that is suggestion number 2 on how to think like Marcus Aurelius. So a couple months after I started university, I started having a little bit of doubts. I was thinking, is this right for me? Is this degree right for me? Is university even right for me? And I was kind of considering dropping out. In the back of my mind, there was always that idea that I should just drop out and just follow my YouTube channel, the thing that I love talking to you guys. I love talking to you guys so much that I was considering dropping out of uni to pursue this full time. Now, I had this thought for months and months and months, and when I was in a boring lecture and I was struggling to concentrate, it was always there as a bit of an excuse telling me, this is just a waste of time. You don't need to concentrate anyway because one day you're going to drop out like you really want to deep down. And if I was trying to revise for an assessment, it would say, this is just a waste of time. What are you doing? This isn't right for you. That little nagging thing in the back of my mind was always an excuse to not put in my full amount of effort. And at the end of first year, just a couple months ago, I had this decision and I was thinking, now is the time whether I'm going to decide to drop out or whether I'm going to decide to continue on with my studies. So, recognizing that this was the time I had to decide, I sat down, I pulled out my journal, which I've been using for more than a year now, and I just started writing about it. And I wrote about all of these different things, all of my different thoughts about it, the pros and the cons, and within about 5 or 10 minutes of writing, I realized that the only reason that I wanted to drop out of uni was because I thought that it wasn't in line with my vision. It wasn't in line with the biggest vision that I've been cultivating over the past year. But then I realized that going to university was in line with my vision, and although the course I'm doing isn't directly tied to my vision, it will give me the skills I need to help me reach that vision. And within 5 or 10 minutes, I can completely shut off the idea of dropping out of university. And I thought to myself, why after all these months had it always been in the back of my head, but I'd never gone through the logical side of things to shut this kind of argument down, because it just took me 5 or 10 minutes to completely shut that argument down with complete and utter logic. And then I realized, for the past 8 or 10 months, that decision at the back of my mind was just an emotion. It was just there saying, uni's quite difficult. Maybe this isn't for you. It was just an emotion, but I hadn't given myself time for my logical side of my brain to sit out and to actually give its opinion on the matter. I was only listening to my emotions, and it was dictating my actions, because I wasn't concentrating in lectures and I wasn't revising as hard as I needed to be, because it was my emotion dictating me and not my logic. Because I didn't give my time logic to think and speak. And although this is quite a big example, I feel like you're doing this a lot in a smaller scale every single day, because I know I definitely am. I'm letting myself be washed around my emotions and not giving my logical side enough time to come out. But since I started journaling and I gave my logical side more time to think, I find myself so much happier doing things that I know is getting me closer towards my goals. Because in reality, your emotions are just telling you to survive. Your deep down subconscious reptilian brain just wants you to survive. It's your logical side that's going to get you to the places that you want to be. So for the third suggestion, I highly suggest that you give yourself time to let your logical side come out and make decisions, and you do that again by journaling. And Marcus Aurelius did this, and he talked about this a lot when he said this quote: "Everywhere, at each moment, you have the option to accept this event with humility, to treat this person as he should be treated, to approach this thought with care, so that nothing irrational creeps in." And that is seriously, seriously important. Treat everything with as much rationality and as much logic as you can, and amazing things will start happening into your life. On to number 4. Don't just say you have read books. Show that through them you have learned to think better, to be a more discriminating and reflective person. Books are the training weights of the mind. They're very helpful, but it would be a bad mistake to suppose that one has made progress simply by having internalized their contents. Now, what this quote is really saying is that when you read a book, or you watch a video, or you consume any kind of content, the benefits are kind of like a scale. And on one end of the scale is someone that just skim reads a book just to say, yes, I've read that book, just to tick it off, and they don't really internalize much. A little bit further along the scale is someone that reads the book like a normal person, goes through it kind of slowly and just takes the bits that stand out to them really, stands out a lot to them, they internalize those things. Now, a little bit further along the scale, getting better and better, is someone that reads the books and takes notes. Now, this is good, but the best side of the scale is someone that reads the books, takes notes, and then writes the applicable part of those notes in a separate journal, writes all of the things that they can start doing in their life today, the things that are actually going to make them progress today, they write that in a separate journal so that they know exactly what they need to be doing to getting over their problems, to reaching their goals, to getting over their insecurities, and all of those sorts of benefits. Because you see, when content is made, when a YouTube video is made or a book is made, it's made to suit as many different people as possible. But that comes at a cost, as it comes watered down. Because the creator wants as many people to benefit from the content, they have to make it a little bit watered down, a little bit more broad, so that it benefits many people. But the problem with that is when you consume the content, you're getting this information that doesn't always apply to you. So what you need to be doing is you need to be acting a little bit like a filter, filtering all of this content, all of this information, and writing down the things that are actually beneficial to you, writing down the things that you can actually start doing to benefit your life today. You're kind of like a filter, distilling and purifying information until you get up with a journal with all of the best things that you've read from all of these different pieces of content, and you'll end up with the best book that you've ever read. That is how you create the best book that you've ever read, by you going through a little bit more work. It does take a little bit more work, but the benefits are absolutely incredible. By writing down all the applicable parts of content in a book, you know it's a step-by-step guide to improving your life. It's like literally a step-by-step, kind of like a cookbook, as simple as that. So put the eggs on, put the rice on for 10 minutes and boil it, or whatever the cookbook may be. But it's like, do this, do this, do this, and you will get your dream life. It's incredible. It will be the best book you've ever read if you just take the time to actually write down and journal the amazing things that you've been doing. Now, you may notice that there's a common denominator between each of these 4 things on how to think like Marcus Aurelius, and that's stepping back, relaxing, and pulling out a journal every single day. Now, my girlfriend and I have both been journaling for over a year. She's been journaling for multiple years now. Together we've journaled over 1,000 times, well over 1,000 times now, 1,000 different journal entries. But the problem is, when you want to learn about journaling, most people, they don't journal for growth. They journal just for fun. They journal like a dear diary sort of thing. But we both journal for personal growth, and there's not much information out there. So what we've done is we've distilled all of our knowledge and we've put it in a short course that you can get for free. But it gets better than that, because not only will this course give you the accelerated growth, accelerate your personal growth in just 10 minutes a day, and we're giving you that for free, we're also wanting this to be an experience, not just to consume it like any other podcast or any other video. We've gone and bought an MP3 player, we've bought 10 MP3 players, and we put all of this information, this free information, on an MP3 player. Now you can actually get that MP3 player for free as well. Everyone watching this video, we bought this MP3 player for you, worth around $20 if you buy it in the store. $20, we're giving it to you for free, as well as the journaling course, the complete guide to accelerating your personal growth in just 10 minutes a day. And this is actually the guide that Bill Gates and Marcus Aurelius used. We put that on an MP3 player. We're going to give you the MP3 player and the course completely for free. And if that's not enough, we've gone ahead and bought you a battery, which you can use for free, and also earphones, so you can plug in straight away. As soon as you receive this package, you can get this for free. Now, I know this sounds like a scam, but the way we're making this work is all you've got to do is pay shipping and handling. Now, shipping and handling is only going to be $6.95, so we're actually making a loss on this whole package. But if you click the link in the description, every single one of you can go ahead and get this MP3 player and this journaling course for free. Completely serious, there's no scam here. Go ahead, every single one of you watching this video, if you click the first link in the description, you can go ahead and get an MP3 player, headphones, battery, and this whole journaling course completely for free. We'll ship it out to you. All you've got to pay is the $6.95 shipping and handling, and we'll get it over to you as soon as possible.